Alright, so today we'll talk a little bit about this device called the Toproller. Okay. Toproller is this device here. It's a device used primarily for arm wrestlers to build pronation and supination, but there's a lot more that you can do with it. I really like the design. The design's really unique. It's made by a guy named Mike Homewood, who's a very good arm wrestler out of Maryland. If I have any critiques of the design, I would say that it would be cool if the loop here, the ring, was a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, because I have a fairly thick hand, even though it's not long. So it is uncomfortable sometimes if I'm doing downward rotational stuff, because my wrist kind of bumps into the ring. But I do love this device overall. I think it's probably the most versatile piece of equipment for arm wrestling. The one thing I will say is that get a different clip for it. I got this one at Home Depot. This is the one that comes with it. It's kind of a weak, kind of a chintzy one, but it's you can just kind of throw it aside and get another one from Home Depot that's a lot better. But it is a very versatile piece of equipment. You can do a lot with it. I know when you buy the device, it comes with a little handbook that gives you some suggestions for exercises, but there's a lot more you can do with it. I mean, you can do your standard kind of hammer curls with it, right? But you can also do pronational work from here up, here up. You can bend your wrist a little bit more, cup underneath it, just like you would use downward rotation in a hook. You can do supinational work with it here, like this. And now, right now, I just have it tethered to a regular kind of loading pin and weight. But one of the other exercises you can do for it is kind of an up pressure exercise where you're using your shoulders a little bit more. It's almost more of a shoulder exercise where you can take it here, keep it out in front of you, punch up, just kind of keep a 90-degree angle in your arm and punch up. Obviously you can, here's my assistant, Vanilla. Say hi, Vanilla. Hello. Obviously you can do a lot of different things on the table with this as well. I'll always attach it to one of my pulleys and use it on my arm wrestling table thusly. You just kind of take it, I don't know if you can tell the angle, but I have it going towards the opposite corner, and you can kind of pronate towards you. Okay, pull towards you. See, I don't know if you can tell, my wrist is kind of bent when I'm pulling towards me. You try to work a little bit of back pressure. Okay, you can flatten your wrist out more and just kind of work back pressure this way. You take a different angle so that you're rotating through it and pinning it this way, thus so, like that. You can turn it the opposite way so that you're working more of a hook pressure, so that you have to take it and turn it in and pin it. Turn it in and pin it. One of the things that I like doing with it as well, it's a good test for your bottom fingers, is if you take it kind of like this within kind of an overhand grip where the chain is coming from under, and you do rows this way, just kind of down, with the right amount of weight. It's really a good test of ulnar deviation as well as bottom finger pressure, because as anyone knows that's arm wrestle, that people are going to attack your bottom two fingers to come out and around you. Also, you can bend your wrist like that and then kind of row towards you with a bent wrist. You can turn it over the opposite way and do rows that way as well. Kind of that way, kind of just back towards you. Another way that you can do them is to do pull downs, kind of more of a direction coming from above you. Because a lot of times when someone's going to try to top roll you, you're going to try to exploit your hand this way. So if you can keep it firm and row back, it's a good way to kind of, and I say this a lot, that arm wrestling is a lot of it is synergy. It's not so much just working one muscle group or one of the moving parts, but being able to use them all together. One of the other things that I always tell people that you can do with these is tricep work, because again, it's almost like if you were to do hammer levers here in this direction. I'll actually grab a hammer and show you. If you grab a hammer and you do levers down to your nose, you know, you feel a little bit of that pressure from the other side of your wrist, but you also have to use your shoulder, and you have to kind of, you know, use your tricep as well, especially when you get heavier with the hammer, and you need to kind of keep your arm up and keep the hammer, you know, high towards your head with a little bit of a bend in your arm. You're going to use a little bit of tricep when you open it up. When you hook with somebody, especially if you're pressing, you're going to give down pressure this way, kind of ulnar deviation. So if you take your top roller, like so, you can do tricep work as well. Like that, just straight down, just regular push downs. I'll do it with this hand so you can see a better view. Now, I think one of the things that people don't think about that arm wrestle so much, but guys that might do grip work might think about, and I'll actually lower the camera for this, is if you're doing any kind of hammer work, like a lot of grip guys do, like it's they call sledge chokes or coin lifts, where you grab the back of the hammer here, and you have to kind of hold the hammer in place, go to the ground, deadlift it. The top roller is a pretty good device for training that, because guys have different methods of lifting the hammer. Some people, they'll grab kind of over it here with a straight wrist. Me, I like to grab it with a bent wrist and drive my palm into the hammer. So it's a little bit different. Now, if you're using your top roller, okay, it's about keeping it kind of static, trying to keep your knuckles up and then lifting, okay, like that. Now, the other thing that you can do is take your hand and put it underneath, inside like this, okay, so you can train the style of sledge choke that I use, where you push your palm into it and lift, like that, okay. Now, the same applies for the reverse. You can do reverse choke deadlifts as well, like that, okay. So for that exercise, you can use a top roll as well. Either push your palm underneath, like that, and deadlift, or grab with the traditional grip over and deadlift. You know, obviously, it doesn't just have to be a static motion either. You can take it and do repetitions this way, straight arm, or you can that way as well. So you're doing radial deviation. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this top roller. Obviously, even from the high pulley, I took it just from one angle. I took it from the opposite corner, but you can take it straight on. You can do direct side pressure with pronation. So I really recommend this piece of equipment. I think it's pretty great. Whether you're doing rows with it, pronation, supination, pull downs. Like I said, you can even do shoulder work, punching straight up. I usually use a dumbbell for that, but this is great for that as well. So there's really a lot of great things about this Toproller. And I think I've had mine since November. I met Mike in November, and I've been training with it pretty much ever since. I've seen a lot of gains using it, and I highly recommend it. So if you want to check it out, I think it's toproller.com, but I can check that out, and I can check that out for you, and I can put it in the sub for this video. Thanks.